Hey folks, welcome back to Maverick Watch Reviews. I've got a really interesting Microbrand review for you today. This is the Phantom from Spectre Time, and as usual, we'll open it up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of this really interesting startup Microbrand. But first, I'd also like to invite you to become a patron of mine on Patreon. This will allow me to bring you a new watch review at least a couple times a week. Make sure you check out my Patreon link in the description field when you get a chance. My only commitment level is $3 a month, but you can always give more or less. 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever you can afford a month would be greatly appreciated. So here you go. Brand new startup, really interesting watch for a few different reasons. First of all, they nailed it on the watch box. This is a really nice watch box. I like it. It's kind of got that rubberized, kind of Velcro-y, I don't know how to explain it. It's got this like Velcro look to it, but it's rubberized and it feels solid. Really like the watch box. And here you go. Now, if you look in here, it didn't come with a user's manual, but it does come with a warranty card back here. And let me show you. There's the warranty card right there. Pretty nice. I mean, these watches are so simple and easy. You really don't even need a user's manual. So there you go. Now, I guess you might be thinking, oh my God, am I looking at a Royal Oak or something? This watch is drawing from a lot of different inspirations. Royal Oak, Audemars Piguet, Hublot, IWC, Patek, Vacheron Constantin, I mean, you name it, this watch is pulling a little bit from all of those. But it still kind of manages to pull off its own unique look, which I appreciate. When you wear this on your wrist, people are going to think you're wearing a much more expensive watch than you actually are. So let's open this thing up. Let's take a look here. Let's take it off the watch pillow. Again, great job on this watch box. Really like this watch box a lot. Really cool. All right. So let's talk about some specs here. I'm going to give you some basic specs. Again, refer to the site for the official specs. Let's look at the case. Case, you're looking at 41. What? Just do that right. Let's try this again here. There we go. 40. That's without the crown. Let's look at the thickness. Thickness, you're looking at 12 millimeters. Let's look at lug to lug, which is actually way down here. Lug to lug is about 53. Is that about right? Trying to think here so you can get this right. Yeah, well, 52 millimeters lug to lug. Let's look at the stainless steel bracelet, which is going to taper. It starts off at 23 and it ends up at, what is that, 18. So there you go. So I'll go ahead and put the rest of the specs up on the left-hand side of the screen. There's a lot to talk about with this watch. It has a sapphire crystal, which is really nice in a watch in this price range. It's 50 meters water resistant, which of course is 165 feet. It has a Miyota 8215 movement. Of course, you know Miyota is owned by Citizen. It does have a 42-hour power reserve. It has an exhibition case back, which I'll show you here in a minute. It's windable, but is not hackable. You have a date function over there at 3 o'clock, and you have a screw-down crown, a signed screw-down crown over here at 3 o'clock as well. So again, not a super complicated watch, but I think pretty well executed for this gentleman's first endeavor into Microbrand watchmaking. I think he did a pretty good job. Obviously, there are influences from the fine Swiss manufacturers, especially this bezel. Even though it's not like octagonal. Is it octagonal or hexagonal? I can't remember. Like a Royal Oak. I mean, the screws right there just really instantly remind you of a Royal Oak. But I think he's done a pretty good job with this watch. It's thicker than I thought it would be, which is not a big deal. Huge polished side over here on the left-hand side of the case, as well as the right-hand side. You've got more of a brushed matte finish on top of the case, as well as the bezel. You have a clean, almost sterile white dial there with just a Spectre logo up there at the top, and automatic and tiny font right here above the 6 o'clock index. You do have applied indexes. The only part with these applied indexes, there's no lume in them. I was really disappointed when I tried the lume out. Only the hands, the hour and minute hands, are lume. Not even the second hand is lume on it. That's a little ding against the watch. That's one. There are a few more, unfortunately, but overall, I think this is going to be a great first effort. What else? Again, simple dial. Easy to read date window, simple, clean aesthetic. I like the way it looks, even though there are tons of influences from other Swiss manufacturers. I like the weight of it. It's got a nice heft to it. I've always preferred stainless steel watches. I like to feel that little bit of weight on my wrist. Even though titanium is great, I like to feel that little bit of weight. Let's look at the bracelet. Really, really nice bracelet for the money. I love these bracelets. Really, really cool. Let's look at the clasp. There you go. You got your scissor clasp stamped metal. Of course, in watching this price range, you're not going to get, a super, super nice bracelet. Here you go with the case back. You have some laser etching all around the outside of the case back, showing you, the different, like the movement and sapphire crystal. Unadorned rotor. That Miyota rotor doesn't have any sort of branding on it whatsoever, which is not a big deal. Of course, I got my fingerprints all over there. Let me wipe this off real quick. Get some of those fingerprints off for you. Again, the rotor is totally unadorned. That's how it comes from the Miyota factory. There you go. Really, really shiny. I would think they could have maybe put the Spectre logo in there, but I'm sure every little thing that Spectre would change is going to cost them more money, which then, of course, they would have to pass on to you, the consumer. So not a big deal. You don't even really see the rotor at all unless you take off the watch. So not a big deal. Real simple. I like it. I like it. In fact, I like this watch. I really do like this watch. Like I said, people are going to think you're wearing a much more expensive watch than you are when you put this on your wrist. Now, here are a couple other things that kind of bugged me a little bit. The crown, when you unscrew it, two things. One, it's a little wobbly, which I know there's supposed to be a little bit of give and take, but I don't like my crowns quite that flexible. Two, when you wind it, it's a little bit of a tough wind. It sounds like there's some sand in the gears or something. There's been another reviewer on YouTube who's actually, I don't know why, but he's reviewed this watch twice. Once when it first came out, and then a second time when it came out. When he did it the second time, because Spectre raised the price of the watch. It was $199, then they bumped it up to $279, and now it's back to $229. So he did two reviews. One review when the watch first came out, and a second review when the watch's price increased. Basically, two identical reviews almost. I don't understand that. But anyway, he commented that the rotor was really loud when it's turning. I can barely hear the thing. Maybe he got a dud watch. I don't know what the problem is. But this rotor is no louder than any other automatic watch I've used. I don't know why he thinks it's so loud, but it's not. So don't worry about that. At least that's my opinion. What else? Disappointing lume. Let me go ahead and give you a lume shot of this thing. And as you can see already, just the hour minute hands are lighting up. Here we go. Let's do what? I don't know, 5-10 seconds. It's not really going to make a difference because the lume's not going to last that long at all. Oh my God. Wow. Holy crap. I made a mistake. When I first did this, I did this in the light and those indexes didn't shine at all. There you go. Well, you can see the lume in the index is a lot weaker than the lume on the hands, which is fine, and it's fading a lot faster. Maybe that's why I didn't see it at all, because I did it in light, and I didn't do it when the light was out. Well, there you go. I stand corrected. There is lume on the indexes. It's a limited amount, and it's very light. But the hands seem to be holding up pretty well. So, you know what? I stand corrected. I take that back. Decent lume. Not too bad. All right, let's turn the light back on. Let's go ahead and give you a wrist shot of this thing. And again, people are going to be thinking, oh my God, is that guy got a Royal Oak on? And you'll be like, no, nowhere near the cost of a Royal Oak. So what, Royal Oak's what, about 20 grand or something like that? They're crazy expensive. Interesting. Good looking watch. A lot of polish on the links on the bracelet, as you can see. A lot of polish. You got your signed buckle there, your signed Spectre buckle. Nice. For a first time, this guy really, I think, did a great job. I'm really, really impressed with this watch. And it feels like this has been in production for quite a while. It just has that production feel to it where you don't think you're wearing someone's first attempt at a Microbrand. You just don't feel that way. It feels like it's a production quality watch, minus those couple little gripes that I had about the crown and the case back, well, actually the rotor back there. But those are not a big deal, guys. I mean, if you want to, get this watch for going out, it's a nice looking watch. Really, really nice looking. What else can I tell you? I like the hands. I like the outline, the black outline, because you have a white dial, and you also have that outline And it looks like this actually chrome. Those indexes are chromed. You can see them kind of shining right there. But I do like the black outline of the hands to just differentiate the hands from the dial. Because a lot of times when you get dials that are white on a watch, and the hands are white, unless they have that delineation between the hand and the dial, it's kind of hard to tell time. But this is really easy. I can look down in a split second. I know what time it is. The date window, same thing. You've got a little bit of a border there. It looks like it's almost screen printed on. There's no actual color to it, but you can tell there's like a little kind of gray border around that date window. They could have made the date window a little bit bigger if possible. That would have been nice. The crown's got plenty of grip to it, even though it is a little bit wobbly for me personally. God, that's a lot of play, man, in a crown. But anyway, so there you go. And it does screw in like there's some sand or something inside. It's just a little bit hard to wind. It's not as smooth as you would hope anyway. But not bad. Again, for a first try, hey man, I mean I applaud this guy. Great job. Great job for a first time watch. And he's only going to get better and better and better with each, new model. When he updates this model, he brings out a new model. He's going to take all of our feedback. He's going to apply it to those new models of watches he's going to create, and they're just going to get better and better and better. Just like Phoibos or Phoebos, however you want to pronounce it. Phoebos, the same thing. Now, the pricing thing with this is a little interesting. I don't know why he's doing this, maybe to maximize his return, but it came out at $199, then it went up to $279, then it went down to $229. You need to stick with the price because that's all that's going to do is piss off your customers and possibly turn some people away. I think this watch, honestly, I think it should probably, and I don't know what his costs are, obviously, but, $229 is probably the sweet point for this watch. I wouldn't go above anything over $229 for this particular watch, given its skill set, what it has to offer, its build quality, its looks, all that type of stuff. $229 is probably the actual, that's what he probably should have started with, is $229 on this watch. Personal opinion. So anyway, that's really been about it, folks. I'm trying to think of anything else I might have forgotten. That's really about it. So if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I would definitely appreciate it. And I'll put a link for this in the description field so you can check this out over at Spectre Time's website. There are two different colors. You have this one, and then you have a black dial version. And that's really bad. He also has a couple other different models. Let me see here. I'm looking. He also has some models on some leather straps, two different models on some leather straps. And those look like those are quartzes, I'm betting. Let me see here. I think they're probably quartz. Yeah, these are quartz. These are quartz watches. So anyway, so he has two automatics. That's this one again, and of course the black dial version of the Phantom of this one. So that's been about it, folks. Until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm like, it was a